Hello and welcome to Lofty Pursuits and Public Displays of Confection in Tallahassee, Florida. I'm Greg, and today Uri is going to be making for us some strawberry hard candy with an image of a strawberry in each one, and with all the little seeds intact. Now it's time to build the palette of colors that the candy will be built out of. Uri is starting with red, and he's pouring our liquid red food coloring into the hot sugar, and it'll start to boil as he stirs. Uri then adds the yellow food coloring, and yeah, there's yellow in this design because the seeds of a strawberry are yellow, and then green for the little frond on the top of the strawberry. Like most fruits, strawberries are just a little bit tart, and we need to add that tart at this point or the candy won't taste right. And we do this by adding powdered citric acid and working it into the background of the candy. The background will be eventually white, but not because of the citric acid. The candy is now partially cooled. The outsides where it's touching the bars are cooled a lot and the insides are still liquid. But it's the perfect time to cut the candy into its component colors on the candy cooling table. The cooling table, by the way, is about 150 years old, and it's made out of mild steel, which transmits the heat and acts as a giant heatsink. On top of that, it has a water cooling system inside, so when we need to shock the candy, bring it down to temperature quickly, we have the ability to do that. Uri folds in the citric acid into the yellow candy, and this isn't colored yellow, this is the natural amber of the sugar. But as he's flipping the candy on the cooling table to make its temperature even, he's taking advantage of these flips to evenly mix the citric acid inside the candy. And now it's time for the candy maker's magic. The candy is still definitively amber, the natural color of the sugar, but Uri is going to make it white, and he's going to do this on the candy hook. He's going to fold the candy over and pull it and pull it, and each time he folds it, he's trapping thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of air bubbles in the candy. Each of these bubbles reflect light, and that's what makes the candy white. The candy itself isn't white, but it's reflecting light randomly. Sort of like the white crest at the top of a wave, or the head of a white soda on the top of a dark glass of root beer. The light reflects off the bubbles and it gives us the white image, even if the candy isn't white. And the beautiful thing about this is it also adds to the flavor. These bubbles dissolve faster in your mouth, so you get a more immediate burst of flavor with pulled candy than you do with solid candy. The yellow for the seeds of the strawberry needs to stand out against the red of the strawberry. To do this, we need to make it opaque, and once again, we do this by pulling the sugar. But we don't do it on the hook this time, because it's such a small piece of candy, we can do it on the table by hand. It's too bad the amazing smells don't make it through the internet. But you can try this candy for yourself. Just go to our web store at www.pd.net. We ship to most places around the world, and you can get this strawberry candy for yourself. We're able to make the background of the candy at the same time we make the seeds. We don't so much put the seeds into the candy as we put the background red around the seeds. So we're going to make one giant seed with a background, and then we're going to stretch it into cylinders, and we're going to stack the cylinders, and each cylinder is going to have a single seed in it, but all the cylinders will merge together into a single strawberry shape. I've always felt this strawberry design is the most historic of the designs that still exist. I mean, this entire style started in the late 1800s in England, probably around Blackpool. And of all that time, I've seen dozens of designs for almost every fruit. Almost every strawberry made like this in candy is made almost in the same way. There are minor changes here and there, but this basic design is pretty much the cornerstone of the traditional shapes. that have been made for 150 years. And still are. We've done more than one of these strawberry videos, and you'll see that Uri and I build the frond, the green leafy top of the strawberry, differently from each other. He builds it as one V that is then replicated, and I build it more like a section of a lime piece of candy. Both give approximately the same results. And it shows that there's more than one way to do just about anything in this candy. We apply white padding around the strawberry so it keeps its triangular shape, and then to the top of it, we add the green frond. If you want to hear more than just what's on our videos, please tune into the Lofty Pursuits podcast. It can be found wherever podcasts are downloaded, and you can join in for a deeper dive. You can also check out our Patreon channel, where our Patreons get special bonuses. At certain levels, they end up with free candy with each order, and they also get to be pushed to the head of the line when we're backed up on shipping. The design finally becomes cylindrical when we add the outer white wrap. The last wrap for the candy is the red outer shell, and we've kept this quite hot. We need the heat so that the rest of the candy warms back up and evens out. We built this candy so the center of it is as cool as possible to keep the artwork sharp. But the outside has no detail, so we can keep it warmer. Now we have one 25-pound piece of candy, and we need to make it into thousands of little bite-sized pieces. And we do this by tapering it into rods, with the trick being we have to taper it without distorting the image. And that's where practice comes in. We pinch off the end and we keep it. We sell that in the store under the name Unicorn Droppings, and no, we don't sell these ends mail order, unfortunately, but you can get them in our store. And then we transport the candy to the batch roller, where we will work on tapering the candy down into its final diameter. Our giant log of candy gets tapered down into rods, and each individual rod gets rolled and rolled until it cools down. You see, if we don't stop rolling it, it'll go flat under its own weight. It only keeps its shape once it's cool, but the thinner rods cool quickly. And now for the fun part. All these rods are now cool, and it's time to cut them into individual bite-sized pieces, with a miniature portrait of a strawberry in each bite. And it looks like a strawberry. If you like this video, please remember to subscribe and ring the alert bell. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you'd like to try this candy for yourself, please go to www.pd.net, and you can get the candy for yourself there. And if you're ever in Tallahassee, you can come by and see us in person. We're right off the Thomasville Road exit of I-10. While we don't make candy all the time, we do make it a whole lot. And if you're lucky, you may see us make it in person. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.